Good morning, ma'am.
Two more minutes and then we'll start, okay? Okay, students, so we'll start off. Still we have to get on with our classes. Again, we have CMS class at 11. Okay. So we'll start off with our class. Start screen sharing. Students, my laptop is giving a huge problem. Okay. Actually, my laptop is very old. I think I took it back in 2007 or 8. Okay. So it hangs sometimes. So if it hangs, so just cooperate. Okay. Then I can take up in my mobile. Okay. So at any time it may go off today. It's giving a lot of problem today. Anyway. So can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so yesterday we discussed on image compression models, right? And there we discussed on error-free and errorless, that is lossless and lossy compression types, right? And there we discussed two types, that is one is run length encoding and the other is Huffman encoding, right? So run length encoding, do you remember? It is a form of it is a very simple form of data compression which is stored as a single data value and count. Okay, suppose this expression is given. So the string of characters, you can say. So the string of characters can also be written as counted as, say we have one sec. So this can be written as this is 4 A's, then 2 B's, 3 C's and 2 A's. Okay, so you can write it in this way. And again in example 2 you can see this is a long string of characters where you can also write it as we have 12 W's, 1 B, 12 W's, 3 B's, 24 W, 1 B and 14 W. So this is about run length encoding, right? Then Huffman encoding. So Huffman encoding is also a very popular type of lossless which uses lossless compression where variable length coding technique is used, and this coding technique is mostly used for removing coding redundancy. Okay, so here symbols are encoded one at a time. That is, yesterday we took up one example. We took up two examples, that is creating a Huffman tree, right? So using Huffman coding algorithm to create a Huffman tree, and here the lowest frequency is given the highest priority. Okay, and this is the algorithm for Huffman coding, and with the help of this algorithm we can create a Huffman tree, right? So this was the Huffman tree. We got it yesterday. Some of you had faced the problem in step 4, right? So I'll just quickly run with this solution. So suppose this value is given. So this value is given with 6 characters with from A to F with frequencies of this respectively. Okay, 5, 25, 7, 15, 4 and 25, right? One sec. Okay, so this value is given from A to F, and first what you have to do, you have to arrange it. You have to arrange all the elements in ascending order of the frequencies. Okay, so first, you arranged these frequencies according to the ascending order of the frequencies, right? So we get it in this way. So 4, 5, 7, 12, 15 and 25. So then how we started off is, in step 2 we took the first two elements having the smaller frequency, right? So E and A we took, so 4 and 5, and we created the node, and when we add this up we get the node as 9, right? So then reconstruct the table, and there we get C comes to the first position, EA goes to second place, and in this way. So you have to arrange all the elements in the ascending order of the frequencies, right? So in this manner, we took up step 3 as well. So this is the table again, it constructed. In step 4, you got stuck. How is that? See, always remember that in a binary tree construction, the root node, definitely the root node has to be greater than the internal nodes, right? So suppose this is the root node, this is 16, and 16 is created by adding up these internal nodes, right? So 27. Now when we add up f and d, and f and d, when we look at it, this is, we are taking as the left and the right node, right? So when we add this up, we get the node as 27, and suppose consider this as the root node. So this is larger than 16, right? So we can't place it anywhere here, because, and 12 and 15 also we can't create. See, so we can't join this node with E, we can't join this with A, we even can't join it with C. Okay, because always remember, the root node is having two nodes, left and the right child node, and left node is lesser than the right node, and root node is addition of the two child nodes. And by rule, the root node has to be greater than the internal nodes, right? So we finally create a subtree for f and d. After that, you have to see step by step. Okay, it is not same for all the values. For this value, we are constructing it in this way. We are creating a subtree for f and d, and then finally what we are doing, we are joining this subtree with C, E, A and B. Okay, this is C, E, A and B, and finally this is the Huffman tree. That is, finally the Huffman tree is complete when we denote the bits, that is 0 bit to the left child node and 1 bit to the right child node, and in this manner you can calculate it. Okay, and in the second sum I asked you to use this first technique, right? So can you use now, remember the second technique yesterday we discussed, so can you use the second technique now? I asked you to use the first technique to consider this, to solve the second question, right? So now can you solve this first question using the second technique? Yesterday I gave you to solve second question with the first technique. Now can you solve this first question with the second technique? Yes guys, can you solve quickly? I'll give you 3 minutes. Can you solve it?
Ma'am, already solved.
Already solved. So did you face any problem while solving?
No, ma'am.
No? Then fine. Then I'm considering it that you have understood Huffman tree completely, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go on with compression algorithms again. Today we'll discuss on
Ma'am, in if some value is like that, it's different from
Sajib, your voice is breaking. Can you write it in the
Yeah.
message?
main
Sajib, your voice is breaking.
tree. I mean, it's become a tree. Then what?
Sajib, your voice broke. I couldn't hear a word. CP30 robot. Sajib, I can't hear you. It's breaking. Can anyone hear? Okay, if the tree becomes 2, then what will happen? If the tree becomes 2 means?
Ma'am, it means in step 4,
Huh.
to on subtree, na?
Huh.
Then if don't add this subtree with entry, then what will happen?
I didn't get your question. Sajib, your voice is breaking. Can you write it quickly in your message? The tree won't become 2. say this is a subtree. Okay, this is a subtree and we have joined it in step 5. Sorry, in step 6 we have joined it finally. Can you see it? So we are looking for a chance to join the
Yes.
subtree with this main tree. Okay, so you have to keep on checking. That is, see how we finally join this here. How, you see, when this value, it got lesser than the root node. See, finally when you add up this two, you get it as 68, right? So we join this subtree with this finally, but before that we couldn't join it, right? We couldn't join it because it was greater than the other nodes. Sajib, I can't hear your voice.
Okay, understood.
Did you get it now? Yes, no? Yes? Okay, fine. If you still didn't get it, I can take up a very small example also and I can make you understand. Okay? So you just have to use means like, see, rules are given, but you also have to consider the rules for constructing a binary tree, right? So you have to take it accordingly. You have to remember that the root node is greater than the internal nodes, left node is lesser than the child node, and left and right child node, when you add it up you get the root node. Okay, so you have to also keep in mind these rules. These are not given in this algorithm. Okay, these are not given in this algorithm, so you have to keep in mind because we are constructing a binary tree finally, right? So you have to keep in mind. And finally, half-man tree is uh, complete when. Ma'am, please take another example. Okay, now though in slide I don't have any other example. Can I take it up? Let's do one thing. Third class we have CNS, right? So before starting off with CNS, I can take up a small example for this half-man tree. Will it do in the third period? Okay, okay, fine. Then now we'll talk about lossy compression. Okay, because lossless compression we have already spoken about a lot. We have taken up these 4 types of lossless compression as well. So why do we need compression algorithms? Okay, so we have 2 categories of compression techniques, that is, one is lossy and one is lossless. So when we use different types of techniques to compress these files, our main aim is to look for duplicate data. Okay, we have to look for duplicate data and then we have to use certain compression techniques. Okay, we have to use certain and suitable compression technique for that. So lossless compression, what it does, it reduces bits by identifying and eliminating statistical redundancy. Okay, don't go for statistical redundancy, just remember redundancy. That is, redundant means that is unnecessary data. So we have to look up for unnecessary data and then we have to discard those, considering a perfect and a suitable compression technique. Okay, so in lossless compression what happens is no information is lost, but on the other hand, lossy compression, it reduces bits by removing unnecessary or less important information. So when we talk about data compression, why we need data compression is because uncompressed data can take up a lot of space, which is not good for limited hard drive space, because we already know, right, that we have limited hard space, and so we can't keep up all the unnecessary data because it takes up a lot of space. And also when we consider internet speeds, it reduces the internet speeds also, that is the download speeds. Okay, and while hardware gets better and cheaper, algorithms to reduce data size also helps technology evolve. This is also one reason. So then so these are some examples, and then we talk about lossy compression methods now. So lossy compression methods, it includes again discrete cosine transform, then vector quantization and transform coding with lossless compression methods like run length encoding, string table compression, and LZW. And there exist several compression algorithms. But now let's concentrate on LSW. Okay, I forgot, we have to consider one more lossless compression, and after that we'll move on to lossy. Okay, so mm, lossless compression, we have one more technique, that is LZW. We can also say LZW algorithm. It is a very common compression technique, okay, and this is typically used in GIF, that is in image format, say GIF and TIFF, and also optionally in PDF formats, okay. And this is lossless, that is no data is lost when compressing, and this algorithm is simple to implement and has the potential for every high throughput in hardware implementations. And this algorithm is widely used in Unix file compression utility compress, and also in GIF image format, that is we already spoke on GIF and TIF. So LZW algorithm is also a very common compression technique. We mainly use this for image formats as well as some PDF formats, okay. Then the idea relies on reoccurring patterns to save data space. So finally we get into one idea, that we have to save space, okay. And also we have to, and how we save the space, we just discard the redundant data, okay. So this technique is foremost technique for general purpose data compression due to its simplicity and versatility, and it is the basis of many PC utilities that claims to double the capacity of your hard drive. Doubling the capacity of your hard drive means it is discarding the redundant data, and as a result it is saving space. Then how it works. So LZW compression, it works by reading a sequence of symbols, grouping symbols into strings, and converting the strings into codes. So basically LZW compression consists of sequence of symbols, then strings, and then finally converting the strings into some codes. Because the codes take up less space than the strings they replace, we get compression. Okay, finally we are talking about compression. We just have to remove the redundant data and we have to compress it. Okay, then characteristic features of LZW includes a code table. Okay, it includes a code table with 4096 as a common choice for the number of table entries, and we use codes 0 to 255 in the code table, which is always assigned to represent single bytes from the input file. Okay, you can see that in my example, and take that example in my next slide. So when encoding begins, the code table, it contains only the first 256 entries, with remainder of the table being blanks, and compression is achieved by using codes 256 to 4095 to represent sequence of bytes. So as encoding continues, LZW identifies repeated sequences in the data and adds them to the code table. And decoding is achieved by taking each code from the compressed file and translating it through the code table to find what character or characters it represents. Okay, you can see this in this implementation. So this is the algorithm for implementation of LZW encoding. Okay, this is written in a tough language. I'll show you an example. This is also another example, but before going with this example, I want to show you another example here in my paper. Wait, it's still open. So here, so this is an example of LZW technique. Okay, so suppose this input and output is given, so you'll be given input as well as the output. You have to show the coded output. Okay, so suppose just take this down. So take this example down once. Have you taken down an example? Guys, have you taken down this example? Okay. So this is the input. Okay, this is the input. That is, we have a long string of characters, and this input has also some outputs. So how we do is, first you create this table. Okay, first we create this table, and then in this table we see an iteration. So here we have 18 characters. Okay, we have 18 characters from 1 to 18. So 18 characters, so from 1 to 18 you write, then you write string S and character C. Okay, so algorithm is such that you want to compress it, right? You want to compress this string of characters. So first, in the first step, what we do is enter all the letters in the table. Okay, so enter all the letters in the table. So this is my table. So enter all these letters first. So initialize string S to the first letter of the input. So string S. So this is string S. So just input this string in this way. Okay, so first you write A, you enter here, then you use A again, enter, then B you use it here, then again you write A. Okay, then A, B, A. Okay, fine. Then you write AB. Okay, so however the output is given, you have to write it in that manner. Suppose for output A is given, so write A is given, again A, B here, A here, A you write, then for AB together you write, because we don't have the value for B, so take this AB together, then again you take up A, then write C, then BA, then use A, then use AC, then write B, then write B double A, then write D, then write A, and then write again double A, and finally A. Okay, so you have to insert the string in such a way wherever its output is given. So did you understand? So this is string S, that is whosever output code is given, you have to insert it in that way. Now you have to write the characters. Okay, right, start it from here. So A, that is, while any input left, read the character C. So first you have to read these characters, that is A, B, C, B, A. So from here, from the second character we start. Okay, and then you can see here the coded output how we have written. You just have to add up. If S plus C is in the table, then S equals to S plus C. So these are everything in the table, because we have just took it out from this table to here. So just add this up. So when we add AA, we get 1. Again, when we get AB, we get 1. We get BA, this is 2. So how this is not literally adding up. Okay, this is not literally adding up as 1 plus 2 equals to 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 5. So just you have to take the initials, that is the starting letter, whichever is starting with the string, you have to take their output here. So add AA. So this is just we are concatenating. Okay, we are concatenating this string of characters. So when we concatenate AA, an output code is for the first character, that is A, this is 1. Again, when we concatenate AB, we write it as 1, because the output value is 1 for this string. Okay, then BA, then you write BA. So for B it is 2, right? So you write 2. Again for A you write this. So when you concatenate this A, B, so when we add this, we get A, B, A. So this is 6. Okay, one sec. And remember, we only take a particular value for this. Okay, so here we are choosing this AB, because AB is already the value we have already chosen as 1. Okay, so AB, this is not included here. Okay, this is not repeated. So whichever value comes first, we will take that. So for AB, this is 1. So we have written here as 1. So this AB is not considered. So it is blank. Okay. Then again you see A, B and A. A, B, A is 6. Then AC. Then AC is 1. CB is 3. Then again BA. So BA we are not considering here again because BA has already been taken. That is BA is 2. Okay. Then go through BAA. This is 7. Then again AC. So AC again we are not considering because this AC is already there. Okay. Then ACB. So ACB is 9. This is 9. Again we got BA. So BA is already there. So no, it is not considered. Then BAA. Again BAA. BAA is also we get it here. This. So BAA value is already there. So we don't consider this again. Then we go on with BAAD. So BAAD, when we concatenate, we get it as 11. Then we get DA. This is 4. AA. So AA already we have. So this is discarded. It is kept as empty. Then AAA. So AAA we have as 5. And finally, for single A, this is considered as 1. Okay. And this is the code table. This is already given here. This is the code table. Don't see this. You don't have to see this. You just have to consider this algorithm. Okay. So just consider this algorithm and just step by step, when you consider this algorithm, place the values in that way. Okay. So LGW algorithm is very interesting. It is also very easy to use, and it is a very efficient lossless compression technique. Okay. So did you get this sum? If not, I can explain again. It is very uncomfortable to explain in this manner actually, but still I'll try again. Guys, did you get this sum? I mean, did you get this technique? Yes guys, did you get this technique? Yes, no? Little bit. Okay. This class is about to get over. The coded output. Okay. So coded output is nothing. Okay. You have taken down this table, right? You have taken down this table. So input is in this manner. Input is in this manner. And output is, it is given already. Okay. So the code output is already given. What you have to do is, you just have to create a table. You have to iterate the table. That is, you have to number the characters. Say we have 18 characters, so you number it from 1 to 18. Then we have string s. Okay, we have a string. We use string s. That is, whatever strings are given here, you have to place it accordingly. So first is A. So place here A. Again we have A. Place here A. We have B. Place it here again. Then we have A. We have A. So why we are not placing B? Because B value is not given. So we add this up. So A, B. So we add this up and we get this. This is a string. So we have to consider whichever string is having output value. Okay, so AB. Again A is having value, place here. C is having value, place here. B is having value, place here. But A is not having value. But we can consider BA, right? So BA is not repeated. So you can consider BA the string. Then consider A again. So whichever string is having output is having the value of the output given here, you have to consider in that way. So A is not there, so discard. So BA is there, so we have to take BA. So again take A. C is not there, but we can take AC, right? Because it is not repeated, so AC. Again take B because it is having the value. Then we have we are not taking A because no value. Again A, no value. But we take D, so write D. Then A, you write A. Then A is not there, but we can write AA because AA is not repeated. So AA is here written, and finally A. Okay. So this is the string, you have written it accordingly. Then characters. So character, you start from here. So A, B, A, B, A, B, because we have to add up, right? So string, this is the first letter we have taken here, but for character we have to start it from the second letter. So place it accordingly. However it is there, you just place it. So A, B, A, B. Okay. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, then AC. So here what we do in this characters, you don't have to see the output codes. In string you have to see whoever is having the output code, you have to write it accordingly. But character, it is just asking to write the characters, right? So you have to write all the characters. So you have to consider characters with value. You have to consider the characters without the values. So write it here. And coded output is nothing but you have to add this up. And when you add this up, it is not literally adding it up, okay? That is 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. It is not that. So suppose you add AA, so you have to take the output coded for A. So A is 1, so you take it as 1. AB. So you take AB here, so this AB, but you are not taking it as 2. Why? Because A is 1, so you're not taking the value for B, so A is 1. Again consider BA. So B plus A, so we are not considering A, we are just considering B. So 2. So in that manner, you have to write the coded output here using the help of this algorithm. So did you get this now, guys? Yes, ma'am. And okay, Zahid has got. So what about the rest? Yes. So easy, right? So this is like what to say. You are using the concatenation thing, but you are not literally adding it up. You are just joining it. Okay, you are just joining the string of characters accordingly. Okay, so this is about LZW algorithm. I'll take up a small example of Huffman coding in my next class. So just consider this for now. I hope this example was understandable. So fine with you, right, with this example? Or should I explain run-len? This is LZW. So should I explain LZW technique again? If yes, I can take it up in the next class again. ভালকে, okay. মই third class বুজালে হবনে?